Okay, brothers and sisters, I lost you all for a minute, but we are back on the air. We are a cultural renaissance platform that influences a climate that is conducive to who you are and who you should be. No reckless entertainment, just responsible listening nourishment. We don't go dumb. We go wisdom. Also, my brothers and sisters, I encourage you to chat live with us this evening. Chat live with my special guest. Chat live with me. Let us know your thoughts. Do you have any questions for El Hakim this evening? This is the time for you to ask. And we are so grateful that you're tuning in and listening. When it comes to poetry, as I've stated before, poetry is an art form. And it is an art form that allows the writer as well as the listeners to almost heal. But what do you mean by that? A lot of times you hear a lot of poets and spoken word artists, poetess. They all say that poetry is therapy for them. Writing is therapeutic for them. And even if you aren't a poet, or a spoken word artist, it still is therapeutic for you to write it out. Some people say walk it out, run it out, work it out, write it out. And so when my special guest comes on this evening, I really want to engage his mind about what made him decide to pursue this passion and the effects of his passion on his surrounding communities. That's very important because we all can say something that can literally save someone's lives. Words can be used to hurt and they can be used to heal. Your tongue can bless and curse. Now, it shouldn't be both coming out of that one muscle. If either you're going to be a blesser 100% of the time, or you are going to be a cursor 100% of the time. But to straddle the fence, and I don't even encourage you to be a cursor. I encourage you to be a blesser with your words. I encourage you to be able to open your mouth, and when you open your mouth, you have something to say. That's why there's a time to speak, and there's a time to be silent. There's a time to embrace, and there's a time to refrain. You have to know when to be quiet and when to say it out loud, because you will in your journey meet people that you will have to speak to. So what does your language look like, brothers and sisters? What type of human are you when you come on the scene, so to speak? Can someone come to you and get a word of encouragement, a word of support, a word of upliftment? What is it? An uplifting word. What type of water flows from your mouth? Is it dirty water or is it clean water? What type of speech do you communicate when you come on the scene? Are you negative all the time? Are you a pessimist all the time? Are you a hater all the time? Are you miserable all the time? What type of speech do you have? Do you attract people or do you make people go the opposite way? Are you someone that someone can call and know that when they call you, you're going to give it to them straight, but you're going to give it to them with a right spirit? Are you a gossiper? Are you a backbiter? What type of speech comes from your mouth, brothers and sisters? Now, we all are at different places in our life. Some people have this together, some people don't. We all have areas where we have highlights and lowlights. So my question to you today is, what is the last thing you said? What is the last thing you said? And what was the intent behind what you said? See, these are very thought-provoking questions. Why are they thought-provoking? Because our tongue is extremely powerful. Very powerful. And so when spoken word artists When poets and poetess get on stage, they know that their tongues have power. Powerful. Life or death. Now that's powerful. So what does your communication sound like? Are you someone where somebody says, you know what, it was meant for me to run into you today. What you said to me really encouraged me. It helped me out. It uplifted me. And I thank God for you. I appreciate you, being willing to be bold enough to say something to me. Thank you for discerning, what was going on with me, because people have what's called a countenance, and you can discern what someone is going through based on their countenance. But only way that you can discern is if you are someone who has compassion, alert, sober, and for the needs of the people, my brothers and sisters. So I just want to encourage you, to make sure that your speech is positive. And, that's the beauty of getting on stage. You can say what you want to say. Now, some people have perverted speech. Some people have righteous speech. Some people have negative speech. What does your speech sound like? And we all are a work in progress. I do understand that it is, some days, hey, you're able to hold your peace, and other days it's like, I got an F on this report card. I got an F on my progress report, because we all are a work in progress. And where there's no progress, there's obviously no work. But what does your progress report look like? Brothers and sisters, my special guest is calling in. I'm so excited. Calling in live, my brothers and sisters, to the Sisters Speak Show. It is my special guest, Hakim, the poet. Let's give him a round of applause, my brothers and sisters. I am so excited that you are calling in this evening, my brother. How are you doing?
I am well.
Well, I'm so glad to hear that. And tell the listening audience where you are calling in from this evening.
Man, I'm calling from Memphis, Tennessee.
Wow. And you know what? I've been telling everybody that you were from New York. I don't know why I kept thinking you were from New York.
No. I'm a Southern boy, Memphis, Tennessee, but I plan to be in New York shortly. I'm about to go on tour, do an East Coast tour, so hopefully I'll be in New York soon.
Okay, well, you know what, brothers and sisters, I apologize for the geolocation miscommunication, okay? But this brother is calling in live, so you know what? Stand up, Memphis, Tennessee. I appreciate you, Tennessee, for allowing this brother to come on this evening. So let's just get down to it, brother.
Let's get down to it.
You are dope. I'm just telling you right now. I checked out your page and I said, first of all, I didn't know. I was a little afraid to even approach, because I'm like, this brother looks like he does not take any mess, and I need to have it all together before I approach him, because the brand is serious.
Yes, it is. It's very serious. I take it very serious.
So tell the listening audience who Hakim the poet is.
Well, Hakim the poet is a native Memphian that has committed his life to provoking thought, because I understand that things happen in a certain order: thought, speech, action. Before you do anything, before you say anything, you think about it. And then after you think about it, you speak about it, whether it's internal dialogue or speaking to someone else. And then when words are put into the universe, action takes place.
Yes.
So that's basically who I am. I'm a poet from Memphis that's really trying to use my gift, my talent, to inspire, uplift, and provoke thoughts.
And that's what it's all about: inspiring, uplifting, and provoking thoughts. So when did you know that you had a gift to stand before the people and speak?
Now, this might be kind of funny. We got a certain tradition down here in the South.
Yes.
That happens on Easter Sunday. I don't know if y'all do this in your part of town, but in the church I grew up in, each Easter Sunday, the kids and sometimes the teenagers, they get up and recite what's called Easter speeches. Are you familiar with that term?
Very familiar.
And it was just something about me, right? As a kid, and I did it consistently. They would give me a little, 3 or 4, 5 line poem, and just wasn't enough for me. And I would memorize the poem, and then I would secretly always add a couple of extra lines, clever lines. And that's as far back as I can detect it. But like all through my life, my teenage years, and growing up as a young man, talking has never been a weak point for me.
Yeah.
I've always been able to express myself, and I've never really been shy. And I was always fascinated by preachers and pimps. And I mean, it's a strange combination, but it's like it's the ability to communicate. I love to talk. I'm a big reader, and it just came out. I was actually, to tell the truth, I was actually well into my 20s before I started like officially writing. All throughout my younger years, I was known for writing a really, really good love letter. You know what I mean?
Yes.
To my little girlfriends or whatever. So I've always been handy with a pen. And but I heard Gil Scott Heron in the early 90s. You familiar with Gil?
Yes, I am.
Yes, and I'll never forget it. I was riding, and I was listening to the cassette, and I heard her voice. It was like, man, I could do this. I bet I could do this.
Right.
And I started writing, and then I would, be on the street corner, at the barber shop, just doing my thing, wherever people would listen to me. And around the time Love Jones came out, that's when Memphis got its first, I guess, official black coffee shop, or coffee shop that was black owned.
Wow.
And they were having an open mic, and somebody suggested that I go down there and read some of my poems, and it just kind of took off from there. It went from a hobby to something I found out I love to do, and now it's at the point where it's actually a business now. So
that is absolutely amazing. And you said, the focus of pimp and preacher, and you also said that's a weird combination. Sometimes that's one in one.
I got a piece that covers that too, so you'll have to hear that piece.
Okay, I'm glad about it. So when you step up on the stage, what is the most common reaction that you receive from the listening audience?
A new audience. Most of the people in Memphis are used to me by now because I've been doing this over 20 years. But new audience, I guess awe would be the response. It's like they don't know what to do because I really don't look like. Well, I don't think so. Anyway, I don't look like what I talk about or how I talk about it. And it's just like it's just for a moment there's an awe in the room because how I write, I always have a strong opening line or a real thought-provoking opening line. Yeah. And to kind of like punch, to get you on my side right quick. But it's like the common response that I, for a new audience is just it's like the expression is like, did you hear what he just said? That's the expression they have on their face. Yeah.
Yeah, I like those. I like the jaw droppers. I like the ones where they just are, eyes wide and just mesmerized by, how bold your speech can be. And that's one of the, I think for me, one of the most gratifying things that come from the audience is just the fact that you can captivate them with your words, with your presence, and with your spirit. And, that has a lot to do with commanding attention. And so, with your subject matter, what are the 3 issues today that El Hakim, and I apologize for mispronouncing your name earlier, that El Hakim is concerned with today in the last days of 2017?
How can I answer this? It's to tell you the truth, and to be totally honest with you, there's only one real problem. Okay. And I just discuss it from various perspectives. Okay. But the one real problem or subject that needs to be addressed from my perspective is the system of white supremacy, which is racism. And a lot of people get uncomfortable when I say that, but when you hear my work, it's not like I'm just banging around, just running around banging on tables. But throughout my life, I've always been trying to figure out what's really going on. Right. And so, like, everything that I write, even if it's just what they would call a love poem, like from a guy to a girl, it's when I write, in some shape, form, or fashion, I'm attempting to counter systematic racism. Yes. So it's like I don't have 3; it's just one.
I hear you. No, and that's
like,
fine.
That's where I come from with it.
But you know what? There's a lot that is right within what you just said. And the thing about it is, people, it's so funny how people can be uncomfortable with what they discuss privately. You know, you're uncomfortable publicly about something you have had several discussions about privately, you know, and white supremacy is a fact. It is ever present. It has been around for a long period of time, and it is a part of the discussion, whether it is said in the forefront or in the back. The problem is that a lot of people don't want to hear the truth. The truth hurts. A lot of people are almost allergic to the truth. They want you to sugarcoat it. They want you to make them feel comfortable. But how can anything change if you're always comfortable? You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. And just to clarify a little bit,
go ahead.
You know, they do a look kind of like, it'd be almost like rhetoric where they just ramble it on. But when I say I'm countering white supremacy, that is really not where I'm coming from. Like, if you look at my material, it's very articulate. Now, I speak slang, but the point I'm making is very articulate. And I don't just sit up and say the white man this, the white man that.
Right.
Matter of fact, you never heard me say that at all. What I do is, when I see or I become aware of a situation or a topic or something, I discuss it almost like as a therapist. That's where I come from, because I'm trying to get people to think about what they're really doing.
Wow.
And let me give you like an opening line of one of the pieces.
Please do.
It's going to be real quick.
Take your time. Take your time. Go ahead and take your time. Ain't no real quick. Take your time.
Okay. Young black man sinking in quicksand. With both hands, he's reaching for a rope. But what he don't realize is the other end of that rope is tied around his own people's throat. So he sits back and he watches them choke. He sits back, rides a fat Cadillac, and he watches them choke. He sits back, rides a fat Cadillac and counts his stack, and he watches them choke. He sits back, rides fat Cadillac and counts his stack from selling crack and watches them choke, smoking that dope. Smoking that dope. Smoking that dope. Young brother told me, Hakim, living in America, being broke ain't no joke. I said, look, bro, neither is killing off your own folk. Participating in genocide just so you can ride. Being an agent in chemical warfare, and you act like you don't care. You say you the man, but you selling yam for Uncle Sam. Well, I be damned. Niggas is still slaves, digging their own graves by the way they money made. So, if you're getting paid off your own people getting slaved, that means the whole community is getting played like Rise and Fly Spades. The whole community is getting played. So that's kind of like an opening line to kind of let you see where I'm coming from with it.
Wait, my brother. Wait. You cannot come on the Sister Speak show and spit what you just spit, all that fire, and just kind of like brush it on as if you didn't say what you just said. As if you didn't say what you just said. Wait a minute now. I'm sitting over here relishing and basking in everything that you just said. And you talking about, so that's just kind of like an opening, like kind of like nothing. Oh, okay. Now, wait a minute. Let me get my composure here. My brother.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's talk about this. That right there was absolute, one of my favorite terms, fire. But it was fire with a profoundness to it. Like, okay, let's talk about it. What was going? Okay, well, obviously, I don't even know where to begin because I'm just absolutely in. Here it is, awe. I'm in awe.
Let me tell you where I'm coming from.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I don't know if you're familiar with this guy, but he was like one of the legendary drug dealers out of Los Angeles. He went by the name of Freeway Ricky Ross.
Yes, Freeway Ricky Ross. Yep.
Okay, well, back in the 90s, I'm always reading. I used to get subscriptions from papers from every city, just everything I could read. But I think this was a paper out of Phoenix, Arizona, and this was like mid-90s. Some investigative reporter busted open the whole thing about crack and how crack came about in America. And, just long story short, come to find out, it was almost like a government subsidized operation where crack cocaine was put on the streets of America to finance a one of the most, I guess, productive, if the word can be used in this sense, productive drug dealers to fund that rebellion in Nicaragua. You know, he thought he was actually working with a real plug, but all the time he was working with the CIA.
Wow.
So that's where that piece came from. Like I said, that was like a piece of the intro, but the name of the piece is CMAG, SEMAG, and what that is the word games spelled backwards, because that's how, you know, drug dealers play the game. You know, you go make all this money, you end up in prison or dead. So that's kind of, we call that backwards hustling down here in Memphis. So that's where that come from. And like I said, I like to start out with a strong opening line so I can get everybody's attention.
Yes.
So they can really hear what I got to say. So that's what that piece leads up to. It leads up to CMAG, game spelled backwards. Wow. Because by the time I finish the piece, I clearly show you how selling crack and being a big drug dealer and all that is actually working against yourself, no matter how good it looks. So
wow.
That's where I'm coming from. Did that help out a little bit?
Oh my goodness. Like, you know, I'm just really smiling from ear to ear because to have you on the show is absolutely a blessing. Brothers and sisters, you are listening to some heat this evening. Oh, take notes. Look, pull out your pencil, your pen, and your notepad, and I need you all to take notes this evening because this brother is dropping a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge, and he's very articulate, yet down to earth. So we are very, very grateful that we have El Hakim, the poet, on coming to the stage. For those of you who are just tuning in live to the Sister Speak show, welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so with that piece, what is the reaction from our brothers and sisters? Have you ever had anybody say, no, you're wrong, that's not what's really happening, it's just talk? Or do you have any of our people ever coming against what you're saying?
Well, not really, because like the whole piece, you can't argue with it. And like how I write, I put you in a position where in order to argue with me, you prove to whoever listening who you really are. I take my time. I write. I mean, I work on pieces. Like literally, I have a piece that I'm really just introducing into my like performance repertoire. Mm-hmm. I've probably been writing that piece about 5 years.
Wow.
Because it's almost like I'm gonna tell you what happened. In the early years, I said something one time at a performance at a little coffee shop, and I really didn't know what I was talking about. And a nice little lady checked me on it.
Wow.
She wasn't rude, but she just asked me to, like, where'd you get that from? And I couldn't answer. And I said to myself, that day, this will never happen again. Right. So I actually, like, I write fun pieces and all that, but like my serious pieces, I actually do research.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, so because I'm serious about what I'm doing, and I'm serious, and I want to know what I'm talking about so I can convey to people what I'm talking about. And like this particular piece I was telling you about is called the Bluff City Blues. And Memphis, the nickname for Memphis, Tennessee, is the Bluff City because how it sits on the Mississippi River. Mm-hmm. And Memphis is known, for blues. Excuse me, Beale Street and all that, known for blues music. Right. So I took that and played with it, and it's like it's religious, political, economic, social. All it is like probably a 9-minute piece. Mm-hmm. And I just wasn't in no hurry to write it. You know what I mean? And man, I could be riding down the street and I see something. And it'll give me an idea, and then I write another couple lines, and I sit it to the side for a while. So, I'm serious about what I'm doing.
Oh, I know you
are. It's not a game.
Oh, no, we know it's not a game. Like I said, I've seen your page. I know it's not a game, and I can just definitely hear it in your energy that you're very passionate about your assignments and what you are here to say, and that's very, I think passion is the driving force in what you do. And when you do it, if you don't have passion, it just sits there and it's dormant and it does not activate. So I can definitely tell that you are impacting the community with what you are doing and with what you are saying. So I definitely applaud you for the work that you are doing so far. I have a question. Have you ever thought about recording, or have you already recorded some of your pieces, putting out, El Hakim, the poet, like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man, you got to be from Memphis to know about, It's like I'm known around the city. I I got signs all over the city. I'm all over social media. And to answer your question, I'm actually on the backside of recording. I'm about to I probably won't be selling any more CDs. Recordings are going to be promotion for me now. But yeah, I definitely record. But with this internet thing we got going on, the digital age.
Yes.
Recording is really, I mean, like trying to sell a CD. It's kind of like an uphill battle now. You could do it. I feel pretty good at performances, but it's like you may hear one of my tracks, right? And then you like it so much that you want to tell your cousin in Nevada about it. Mm-hmm. So you just share it with your cousin. And it's like, so it's not really a lot of money in selling CD. Anybody in the record business that's serious, especially artists, they'll tell you that's not really where it's at right now. It's really in performing and merchandising.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna always record, but I'll be giving them away, using them just to pull more people towards me.
Yes.
And that's why I use the term. The plan is to expand the brand. I'm working to expand my brand and make it powerful enough that I can get a handsome performing fee and be able to sell merchandise.
Yes, that's what it's about.
That's my business model. That's my business model.
No, and it works. You've been doing this for 20 years. What is probably the most memorable performance that you have given to date?
I got a couple of memorable ones for different reasons. The first one that jumps out, when I first started doing poetry, as like taking it serious, performing and just writing on a regular basis and doing that, I always had a fantasy or an idea. It wasn't really nothing in the front of my mind that I would really love to work with some local rap legends from Memphis. You ever heard of 8 Ball and MJG?
Oh my gosh, have I? Yes.
Okay. Well, check this out, right? Years back, I remember saying to myself one day, man, it would be really cool if I worked with 8 Ball in some kind of way. And it happened, right? And I didn't realize it was happening till I was on stage. And it was one of my biggest performances in terms of crowd capacity. It was at one of the major venues. No, I got two things mixed up. I'm telling two stories at the same time.
Okay.
I got in contact with A-Ball. Got in contact with me. His people got in contact with me, and I was able to get on one of his CDs.
Wow.
And as a result of that, I ended up getting a performance at one of the real venues here in town. Mm-hmm. And it didn't dawn on me what was happening until I was actually performing when I thought about it.
Wow.
All the way down to what I had on. Like the vision was to actually work with 8 Ball, but I ended up opening up for Life Jennings.
Wow.
As a result of recording with 8 Ball. Like I said, I was telling two stories at one time. And the vision that I had was I actually had on what I saw in my vision. So on a spiritual level,
yes,
that was one of my most memorable performances.
Yes.
And then on a real poet level, a real live, I'm talking about a sincere poet level, I performed in a little coffee shop, and after it was over, this dude walked up on me, and he just small talk. He bought a CD. He was like, man, listen, I just did however many years in prison. And he said, man, I was really sitting in this coffee shop contemplating what my next move was going to be because I ain't nothing happening for me. So he said I was going to get down and dirty, basically get back into a life of crime. He said, man, but after listening to you, man, you really don't know what you just said to me. You really done changed my whole thought pattern.
Wow.
I'm going to change my mind in the morning and get on another course. That is the most valuable one to me.
Yes.
Because that is my purpose for doing what I do. So that's the most valuable one. That's the one that just really sticks out. Never saw the guy again. But he told me, and I knew he was telling the truth because I felt his vibe.
Yeah.
He was like, man, I was sitting here contemplating what's the next move I'm going to make. He said, but I can sit here listening to you. Man, I know better than that. And so that was one of the most heartfelt situations for me as a poet, and I'll never forget it.
That is amazing. And you know what? Like I said, I applaud you and kudos to you because I was just telling the brothers and sisters before you called in, I was just asking them, what does your speech look like? What type of communication do you have when you are amongst people? Are you impacting lives? Are you uplifting? Are you encouraging? Or are you a hater? Are you negative? Are you cursing people? How do you use your tongue, and is it saving lives? Because poetry can save a life, whether it's the life of the poet or the life of the listener, because you have an opportunity to express what you've been through and who you have become as a result of what you've been through. And then you're able to have this level of discernment because of just your own journey. And there's somebody in the room who will feel like you've been following them because it's so accurate. It's so like pinpointing directly to my soul what it is that you're saying, and what you're saying is having such a dynamic impact on me that my life has changed forever. And that's what it's about. And so for that brother, that was nothing but a divine design that was predestined for him to come in there, to hear you speak, and to have his mind change. Do you understand how powerful?
I almost like, I probably did, but it's like I was almost in tears because I was like, this is why I do this. This is exactly why I do this.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was moving for him to tell me that, and it was like I'll never forget. That's been a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, you know what though? The thing about it is, I'm quite sure there are several people who you have touched since then, and even before then. They may not come up to you and say anything, but they are forever grateful because of what you said. There's some people who are just bold like that to say, hey, thank you for what you did. And then there's other people who are just a little bit more private, or may even be a little shy, or might even be, some people have shame, may even be ashamed to come up and say, hey, what you were talking about, that's me. But for whatever is everything okay?
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like you're faded out, but good.
Okay. Those words will always, my train of thought got thrown off right there because I heard that noise. That noise threw me off. But anyway, but people will always, be impacted by what you say, whether they come up to you or not. So I just want to encourage you to continue to speak, and to speak boldly, because you are changing lives. That's what it's about. What are some rules, do you think, to getting on stage and speaking? Because some people may not have stage presence. Some people, they may not have all of it together. What do you think are some tips for somebody who's thinking about going to open mic night this Friday, and they want to get out there on the mic, but they still are extremely nervous? What are some tips for performing before a small crowd, a medium crowd, and a large crowd?
It's the same answer for each one of them. First of all, you got to be yourself. See, like what you see on them videos of me, and when people see me on stage. Yeah. There's like very little theatrics involved, because I'm kind of animated when I speak anyway. Yeah. But be yourself. Regardless of what anybody else says, be yourself. And hello?
I'm here.
Yeah, I had to be behind you. Be yourself. And if you're a chess player, you always protect your pieces, right? Yeah. So if you're just going to be yourself, you got to protect your piece by practicing. Now, if you be yourself and practice almost till you can't talk, you have nothing to worry about. You could actually be saying your ABCs. And if you get up there and say your ABCs the way you say your ABCs, and you've been practicing your ABCs, somebody's going to get something out of it. Because I live by this. From the heart reaches the heart. Wow. Every time. Yes. It never fails. Yes. So just be yourself and practice. And having something interesting to talk about always helps too. Yes. Yes, it does. Have the perspective, not just up there rattling off. people do that. Now.
They
do.
They do. Sometimes I don't know what we doing. I don't know if we staying on the plantation or if we leaving. Where are we going with this, sister? Because this poem is all over the place. I don't know. What are we doing here? Are we marching or are we cool with what's happening? Like, what's up? But that's just. I definitely can relate to that. I wanted to ask you, kind of just gearing off to, since the fact that you would address certain subjects that are based under, dealing with white supremacy. What is your stance on Colin Kaepernick taking a knee and what has his journey ever since he took a knee? What is your opinion on that?
Well,
or what are the facts on that?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna give you my opinion because I'm not firsthand right up on the situation.
Yes.
So I have to give you my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, as a professional athlete, as a professional anything, you know what you signed up for, and you know what the rules are, and the people that run it, you know what they like and what they don't like. But also, another note, Muhammad Ali said something years ago. And I can't quote it verbatim, but he said something to the effect that there comes a time in life where you take a stand, and when you take that stand, it could very well be some compromises that come behind that stand. So to answer your question, I don't have like a particular point of view on the Colin Kaepernick because I feel like as black people and people of color in America, everybody got the right to say what they want to say. Because we got played out real bad.
Oh yeah.
So he has a right to do that, to say what he wants to say. But I'm pretty sure. I mean, he's in the NFL. He knew something was going to happen. And then on another note, I discuss things in layers.
That's all right.
On another note, I think his situation was the timing of it with what's going on in America right now, because he's not the first person that didn't acknowledge a flag or the national anthem or something like that.
Right.
But I think the timing of it. But overall, from a bird's eye view, it's a good thing because it created a dialogue that people keep swept up under the rug. I just hope that he was. He seems to be a pretty wise young man. So I hope he had he got his paper right where him not playing won't hurt him too bad financially. Mm-hmm. But I agree with him. I mean, I don't stand. I had stood for like a national anthem, pledge of allegiance, this is like 20-some years.
Yeah, it ain't happening this way either, brother. I'm not doing it.
It don't represent me.
Right.
But I know I can't stop them from singing it. But what I can do, I can start creating my own songs and poems. I know that. I know that's right. I was thinking about Colin, and I was like, okay, he definitely, was bold enough to take a stand and say, you know what, this is it. I'm not doing this and so forth. But then I was like, he's also really smart because he doesn't have to deal with those concussions. I don't think he's ever coming back to the league, okay? I feel like Colin did one of them, I'm calling in sick days, for real, and was just like, I'm not getting banged up another day. What can I do to get out of this contract? Take a knee. Take a knee. Yeah. And then now... and another thing that this the street side of me as a younger man when I was not as wise as I am now.
Yes.
Right? He didn't cower out. He stuck to it. Now, I respect that over everything else. I respect that to the fullest.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't cower out. He stuck to it. It cost him.
Yes,
but
it
he
did.
stuck to it, so that means he really meant that.
Yes, but, and also, even though I'm awake to understanding that there is white supremacy, but I also got a chance to see the white people, quote unquote white people, get really, really nasty with their expression of discontent for not bowing for the national anthem. First of all, this isn't my nation. This is not where I'm from. So, this isn't the song I shall sing because this isn't where I'm from. And by the way, y'all not from here either. So now what are you really getting upset about? And so then you just started hearing hearing and seeing the attitudes towards how they really feel about us. You know.
I love it though, see, because the stuff that I talk about and people be like, man, it ain't that bad. I love it when it shows itself.
Oh,
It
yeah.
don't bother me. I'm beyond the emotions of racism. I'm beyond it. It doesn't bother me at all because I don't argue with stop signs because stop signs don't change.
That's right.
You feel me?
No, that's
so it's
right.
like I'm glad. I'm not glad that he lost his his income.
Right.
But I'm glad that the dialogue came out because people that you may have thought was cool white person, quote unquote.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
The little monster came out.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was like almost, like property owners, slave owners and their slaves. And that's, it's just hard not to look at it like that when you see the process to becoming a football player and all of what you have to do in order to, perform and be chosen. Things have changed as far as scenery and environment, but the process and the objective behind the football draft and the basketball draft, you are here to make these people money. And if you
think, but if you think about it, like the fundamental relationship that existed on the plantation,
right,
is basically still in place. Outside of NFL, I'm talking about just in general, the basic fundamental. People of color in America put forth their talent, skill, natural resources, whatever they have to offer. They put that forth to fortify the collective wealth of people that are classified as white. So it's still in place. Nothing is only refined.
Oh, yes.
I'm kind of like a little student of white supremacy. I kind of study it from the psychological, social, from different aspects. Nothing has changed. It's just been refined.
Definitely. No, definitely. But what the thing about it is, a lot of our people have Stockholm syndrome.
Yes.
They are dedicated to their master. And even though their master has declared they don't like you, have shown that they don't like you, have treated you as such to let you know, have put things in place systematically to let you know that they don't like you, and you still are like, you know what? It's okay though. They you know what I'm saying? Like,
It ain't funny. I mean, that was funny, but it's really not funny.
Right, though. But that's what it is. Like, there are some of us who don't want to know more and are very comfortable in this bubble of limited knowledge and codependency on the systems that are designed to keep you down. It's just crazy, to have your mind renewed is a blessing because it enables you to come from underneath the thought process that has been put into your family generation after generation, because you can pass down generational ignorance. You can pass down generational anxiety. You can pass down a lot of things can continue to flow through the bloodline. But like in every family, you always have that one or two that's always awake, that's always different, that doesn't do things the way the rest of the family does things. Or
you're talking to him. You're talking to him right now.
Look, you're talking to one of them right now. That's why I'm saying that. That's why I'm just saying that. You always have those one or two that's just completely different. Different. Every time you come, they're like, what you learn now. What you done found out now about the white man, quote unquote. It's just like you can always, and then they always want to label you as weird, because people always label you weird when you're different and what you say is something that is completely out of their thought process. People can be intimidated by how your brain moves. And, when people are just stuck in what they do, it's just amazing how when you come around, it's just like, you got a few that's going to be like, okay, what's up, brother? What you learning? And then the others, they just like, here he come. Come on, get your keys, grab your stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's just like,
happy slaves.
What? You said a happy slave.
Listen. I mean, seriously, it's like, it's funny. funny because it's funny. But, like, just think about it. There's really no reason, like, just based on statistical data, just basic information of the predicament or situation of black people in America. There is no legitimate reason to be partying and kicking it and trying to outdo each other and have the better car, the better house, or you know what I mean? There's no reason for that because we're losing in every area. I'm like, seriously, I got real serious now. But every area of life, you can't point to one area where black people or people that are classified as black in America are dominating or controlling. Not even the things that we produce spiritually, our music. We're not in control of it when it gets delivered to the masses. Nothing. We don't produce anything. We're not pulling anything out of the earth and cultivating it and turning around and selling it. We're not participating in any global trade. We're just like we just running around like a bunch of kids. So there's no reason to be partying and kicking it all the time, and you ain't got it together when somebody can cut our power off at any time. Now that sounds extreme, but when the last time you seen an Indian walk around with feathers on? So don't tell me what they won't do. All right, let me stop. Let me pull back.
No. Pull on in, brother. That's what I like on this show. No, bring it on home because it's absolutely the truth. It's the truth. And see, oh my gosh, you just said so much. You just said so much.
You sound like my children.
Look, our people.
You sound just like what you just said so much.
No, but it's the truth though. Like, like our people are in dire straits. Like we are really, really, really in trouble. And, that's one of the reasons why I said with this podcast, I wanted to be able to bring us together and provide a platform of intelligence, of wisdom, of knowledge, where inspiration does meet the arts, because I know that there are a plethora of brothers and sisters that are highly wise, that are very intelligent, that, are awake, that are aware of the issues that you're speaking of, that are aware of the issues that I'm speaking of, and are living proactively against the oppression to the best of their ability. I know that there is a balance. We have a 50-50, so I'm grateful that you can come on this platform and speak the way that you speak, because our brothers and sisters, they need to hear it. They need to have somebody tell it to them just like it is. Because like you said, with the partying and the BSing, because that's what it is. They're just partying and BSing. I look through Instagram and you don't know how many times I roll my eyes. I probably roll my eyes about 300 times a day just on Instagram. Like, oh, sister. Oh, brother.
I mean, it's ridiculous. All black party, all white party, day party, night party, trunk party, release party,
lingerie party,
just everything. Everything is a bash and a gala. But ain't nobody running nothing.
Nothing at all. And it's all just for vanity. And vanity is a cruel demon that will have you so focused on the superficial aspects of life, the materialistic aspects of life, that before you know it, by the time you look up, you're at death's door.
That's where we at. That's where we are right now.
Spiritually at death's door. And then catching up to it in the flesh, now you physically at death's door, because what's going in and what's coming out is extremely toxic and does not benefit the atmosphere. So every time you walk into a room, or when you walk outside of your house, you're creating what I would consider to be almost like a chemical spill. A chemtrail of your spirit permeating the atmosphere, just completely, just bringing us further on down. And it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, because our people, like I said, there's some of our people who are with it, and they're conscious and they're aware, and they're all for being fragrant in their energy, in their soul, and when they walk out the house. But there's other people, like I just said, they're so toxic. You know, it's bad when you are a sister and you walk past your people and you or you contemplate walking past your people because they look like they with the mess.
Yeah, let me tell you something I noticed, right? The system of white supremacy has refined itself so well that for somebody that never paid attention to history, it actually looks like people that are classified as white have not done anything. And the things that they used to do to keep us in an inferior state, they don't do anymore. They actually donate money to situations now. The reason why, because we have been so well programmed and trained that we do it to ourselves. I also paint. I'm a painter as well, right?
Well, congratulations.
And, I have this series called When the Sun Goes Down, A Mother's Worst Nightmare. Fun spelled S-O-N instead of S-U-N.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's a then and there's a now. And in the then, if I could just paint the picture with words, it's basically a hanging celebration. You got a black dude hanging off a limb, and you got white people standing around. All true punishment that the white supremacists of past used to inflict upon us. The killing, how we deal with women. That's how the slave master used to deal with black women. They just see an object. You just pull her out here at night and bring her around the house. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. She's called a bed warmer. Okay, now listen to the music that's being produced by young black males today. You know what I mean? And it's like what they did to program us, it worked so well that they don't have to do it no more unless they really want to. Want to have them a little fun. They just snatch somebody up and take them somewhere. But for the most part, we do to ourselves what used to be done to keep us in an inferior space.
Wow.
And that's crazy. That's crazy.
And you know what?
Insanity.
It is, and you know what? It is true because it's like being abused emotionally. If someone is abusing somebody else emotionally, they keep abusing them, breaking them down. More than likely, that person who has been abused will then become an abuser, and will then begin to inflict what has been inflicted on to them to someone else. And that just goes to show, because what has been inflicted onto us by the quote unquote, the white supremacist, the white man, what has been inflicted is so horrible, so tragic, so traumatic, so horrible, so wicked, so demonic, so satanic, that I'm so serious. What has been done to us by them are those things that in turn, without seeking help, without getting some help for what has been done to you, it's gonna spew out. Because if it doesn't purge with hyssop, if it isn't purged with hyssop, and I'm speaking from the book of Psalms, if it isn't purged with hyssop, then how is it going to purge? It's gonna come out. There are going to be situations that are orchestrated throughout life that are going to allow those things that are within you to come out. Period. Point.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Right. And that's just what it is. And we do hate on ourselves. I mean, we are like, even just me being a sister, just the stuff that I have to deal with or have had to deal with from other sisters. It is horrible. The relationship, sisters pick and choose. You have a group of sisters locally that may not like each other, but everybody loves Beyonce. You don't even know her. It's amazing how a group of sisters can all come together to like this one sister, but then you can't even like somebody in your local neighborhood. You understand what I'm saying to you?
That you went to school with, you've been knowing all your life.
Your whole life, can't stand it. But here comes Beyonce on the scene, and you think you're her, which is a whole nother schizophrenia.
I love you. I love you. We can talk forever.
I'm on it. I'm serious about that. I tell sisters all the time, you do not have an inner Beyonce. Are you crazy? That is crazy. You are admitting that there is something internally wrong with you.
Yeah.
Period.
Like I said earlier, that same fundamental relationship that was on the plantation is still prevalent right now. That's what you just described.
Yep.
It's That's basic plantation activity.
It is plantation activity, and the thing about it is, for this sister, Beyonce doesn't care about y'all. She's not even thinking about y'all, but y'all will go to bat. You'll fight another sister over a comment that was made or anything like that. But then we cannot get along on a basic everyday everyday basis. Something is off. And like you just said, it goes back to the plantation mentality, and especially with brothers, oh my gosh, the tragedy amongst brothers, just killing and hating and killing, and just, it's so sad, because we are powerful people. We are royalty. We are the superior race. I'm just gotta say that. It's the truth. We are.
That's why what was done. That's the only way that the people who classify themselves as white, that's the only way that they could get into they could get the positioning or the posturing that they have now, is by tricking through several different techniques. Tricking people classified as black into thinking that black is a bad thing, that your lips big, that your hair nappy, you got a big butt, but all those things they go out and artificially do. So it's some real psychology going on.
Oh, it's crazy.
You just got to be aware of it, and the only way out right now that I see is we have to start to counter everything that's harmful towards us. Just like people like, well, what will you do about the drugs in your gangs? Okay, if everybody stop getting high, everybody stop selling dope, that'll solve itself overnight. But the question is, will you do it? Right. And if you don't, why won't you?
Right. No, I get it.
All the fighting. All you gotta do is stop fighting. You have to put forth an effort to fight. You got to point a gun at somebody. You got to squeeze. You got to load the gun. You got to go find the person. Just don't do it, and it'll stop overnight. But that's too easy. It's too easy.
It's too easy. And the thing about it is, like, a lot of our I feel like our brothers and our sisters, they are easily influenced by what they see on TV, and and with the emergence and the popularity of reality TV, our brothers and sisters have, like I said, they have really gone off into the deep end of being delusional on.
That's what a slave is. That's what a slave
delusional.
It's a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
You don't want to face the ugly pain that's right in front of you, so you start medicating yourself all kind of way. You medicate yourself with false thoughts, with synthetic substances. You overeat. You drink too much. You want to look like her. You want to look like him. See, all of that is a compensatory behavior to make up for something that you feel inadequate about. And it's crazy.
It's
crazy.
And the one thing that I'm just every day in prayer for my sisters who wear blonde wigs, blonde hair. That right there, for I don't care what a sister says, when you put that blonde hair on, I've always encouraged my listeners to look up what it means to have blonde hair. To be blonde means you have leprosy. That is one of the symptoms of leprosy. Blonde hair.
You can't tell them that though, because that's deep in their mind, they're mimicking a white woman, because the standard of beauty set by people who say what beauty is blonde hair and blue eyes. So it's like it's a people. Well, you used the word earlier. It's some schizophrenia. It's about everything going on. Schizophrenia, bipolar, psycho. Everything is all going on, and it's all going on inside the minds of people that's classified as black, because we've been programmed to not like ourselves. That's the only way what was done to us could be done to us. Just like a pimp. The pimp can't do nothing with a woman that got herself together, that's content and focused and got a plan and had a good relationship with her. A pimp can't tell her nothing to trick her.
Right.
But a woman that's got all type of insecurities and daddy issues and thinks she don't look good, can get her every time.
Yes.
It's the same. Matter of fact, I'm working on it's kind of in the infant stages of a one-man show. Where it'll be some poetry in it, but the whole premise is to show the parallel of pimping and slave and being a slave master, because that's where pimping came from.
Yeah,
it came off plantation.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah, so that's just a little side part. I just thought about it.